Okay, good evening, everyone. We are the AsyncWorking team. I and my teammate Zhifeng will introduce our project. And we will talk about our website in these topics. Firstly, please allow me to introduce what we want to create. We want to develop an online platform to support our users, the small and medium-sized employees, to manage their task list, employees, and companies. In addition, we also want to make support our users to to know their production development state. That means how many tests they have been finished and how many tasks they still need time to be developed. As for our team, we have 6 developers, 3 DevOps, 1 BA, and 1 project owner. As for the developers, we are also starting from clicking of one card. In this card, it contains what functions we have to achieve and the UI we should notice. After the developing and unit test, we would create a pull request and ask for other developers for checking. If all the check is passed, we would merge the branch into the master branch. In that case, after this, the developers would test these functions. If all of the test has passed, the new functions could be deployed to the production environment. And my teammate Zhifeng will introduce the technology stacks that we used in the back end and front end.
Okay, thank you, Tenchos. So in our project for the front end, we were using the React.js frameworks, and we were using the TypeScript as our programming language. And for the UI part, we were using the Material UI to help us to create the UI components. And also for the testing part, we were using the React testing library and the JS. For the back-end part, we were using the Spring Boot frameworks. And for the database operations, we were using the Spring Data JPAs. For our API, we will follow the RESTful APIs. And we will also using the Flightway to control our database versions. And for our unit tests, we were using the JUnit and the Mojitos. So Tencho will introduce our new features for our projects.
Okay, in the past 0 months, firstly, we have make our website support the switching company functions. In the past, if a user owns several companies, they may have to have the same number account with his companies. And now he could click the buttons on the top and left corner to achieve the companies and view the details of the different companies that he owns. For the front end, to achieve these functions, we should know which companies that the user is looking through. That we create a new hook to record it. And apart from we have known the starting point, we should know the list. That's all of the companies that the user have. Because of the user email is unique, so we use it to get all of the lists that the user have. Okay, we have known the list and the starting point. Now we should know the direction point, right? Okay. We use it to get the possible directions, because the starting point can't be becoming the direction point, right? Okay, after the user clicking the buttons, the handle switch function would work, and it would update the user login informations and use the use history to achieve the page skipping navigations. To storage the to use storage the user's login information, we created a new table to record it. And apart from this, we need to update the user's information every time they have switched to the other companies. So in the back end, okay. Yes, sorry. Well, we use these functions to help us to update these company's function. If this company ID is not belong to the user, we would show error. Okay. As for the apart from these functions, we also create the board new page, the board page, and Zhifeng will introduce some details about it.
So for our project, for our software, we can have two different ways to organize our projects. One is the list views, and another one is the board view. For the list view, we can see every project is displayed horizontally, and for the list view, we can see our project will become the car along with the sections. So in the board view page, we can create a new section by clicking the Add section buttons, and then we can enter the section names and create the sections. And within the sections, we can create a new class. So after we click the Add buttons, and we can enter the task names, and then we can have a new car. And within the car, we have a couple options, operations, like we can assign the team member to the car. And when we click the member buttons, we can see the team member that's already signed into our projects. And we also can add a teammate to our projects by clicking the invite buttons. And also we can set in the priority for the tags and also the timers for our tags. And we can also change in our tags status by clicking the done buttons. When we click the done buttons, the car will automatically jump to the done sections. So next, the Tancho will introduce the drag and drops for our projects.
Yeah, thank you, Zhifeng. Because we don't make our website become a big speculators, so we want to make it like channels. Not only a user could drag the task to change the order of the task and change the order of the list. Okay, as for the dragging list, we shouldn't just like operating an array. We should know the starting point and the ending point. So I use two parameters to record it. In addition, I use the serialize. Yeah, next page, please. Yeah, serialize to help me to finish these functions. As for the dragging task, it may be a little complex because just like we are operating a two-dimensional array. Yeah. So, because not only we should know the index of the original list and the direction list, we should know the order of the text in the original list and where I want to put it to. So I find the order and the direction firstly, then I start to operate the two list, use the serialize. To finish this function completely, I need the backend support. So please, Zhifeng, to introduce this part.
So after the to-do list is updated, we will using the user fed to monitor the to-do list status. And when the to-do list is updated, we will calling the different operation, different API to the backend. So this is our API's data flows. So when the front end will send a request to our backends, and our controller will capture the request, and then it will asking the different servers to do the operations. So the server side will interact with the models, and then it will do some database operations. So for the controller, as you can see, we have three different APIs. So which is for the first one is reorder the list, and second one is reorder the items with the same list, and the third one is we we will move the different we will move the item between the different lists. And then we will go to the server side. So because we are manipulating the batch of the different lists, so it will generate a lot of the write and the read option to the database. So in order to minimize the number of read and write operations, we are using the batch queries and the batch updates. Those API are provided by the Spring JBA. So this is there's two functions we are introduced. Also, we are using the fly rate to adding two different columns to the tables. One is the item orders. One is a list order to do item table and to do list. So this is our two functions. And now we will do the demonstrations. Okay. First is we can changing our companies by clicking the buttons. And then you will jump to the different homepage. And then we can see this project is empty because we are not creating any projects. And we can create our new projects, such as P1. And then we have other projects. So in the board view, when we create a new project, it will have a default section, which is called the down sections. And then we can add the sections. We pass section names. And then we will have a set the new sections. And then we can add our card. And then also we can assign the members. Also the timers and the priorities. And we can, when the task is finished, we can click the, so I think this function is not pushing to our branch. And also we can draw our task to the down sections. And also we can draw the sections to the different sections. And that's it. This is our two functions for our projects.